Hey guys, welcome back to Rider Recap. Today, I am going to recap a 2019 drama comedy film, named Yes God Yes. So, let's begin. The movie begins with Alice, a sexually inexperienced but curious junior at a strict Midwestern co-ed Catholic high school, attends morality class where Father Murphy instructs her that any sexual activity not aimed toward procreation within a heterosexual marriage is a sin, with eternal damnation as punishment. After the class, she struggles with accepting her burgeoning sexual desire after Father Murphy and her best friend, Laura, causing her to feel ashamed of them. Later that day, at her house, Alex plays a game on her computer with an opponent who, in the process, sends a nude picture to her and asks if she wants more. They begin to have a conversation leading to a sex chat. She touches herself and stops when her mother, Gail, calls out her name for dinner. The following Monday, she gets picked up by her best friend Laura, who asks her about her encounter with Wade at her party during the weekend. Alex tells her they didn't do anything contrary to the rumor she heard. Now at the school after a morality class, Alex gets notified during the break with Laura that the school is abuzz with a rumor that Alice tossed the salad of her classmate, Wade, at Laura's party over the weekend. Alice denies this, admitting to not knowing what the phrase means. Laura then asks Beth why she didn't come to her party. Beth tells her she was on a retreat run by the school, which is called Kirkos. She shows them the necklace she got there and informs them she is not allowed to talk about it with the people that haven't gone, whereby she edges them to sign up for it later. The rumor reaches Mrs. Veda, who prevents Alice from serving at Mass. During the Mass, Mrs. Veda talks to Alex, telling her she needs to conduct herself if she wants to keep being a gift bearer and her body belongs to God. Later that day, during the Sacrament of Reconciliation, Alice confesses venial sins to Father Murphy and receives a light penance of 20 prayers, which she immediately and fervently fulfills in the school chapel, Father Murphy and Mrs. Veda's words about sex echoing in her mind in the Kirkos retreat. The next day, Alice and Laura both decide to attend the school's next, Kirkos spiritual retreat. On getting to the campground, Alex has doubts about staying for the retreat. Still, Laura convinces her since Alice has to return to the path of righteousness and Laura to be accepted by Nina, a popular senior. Now on the retreat campgrounds, Laura is excited to find that Nina is a retreat leader, while Alice eyes Chris, a hunky senior who is also a retreat leader. After this, Nina welcomes Alice, informing her they are in the same cabin, which leaves Laura out. During the process of settling in, Nina gives Alice a sweatshirt and also asks her if she is with her cell phone or bracelets, since they are not to be with it. Alice then proceeds to give her only her bracelet, leaving her phone out, which she claims she is not with. Later that day, they were told to find their group number, leaving them with a different group. Alice soon locates her number and finds out she is assigned to Chris' group. Chris is friendly and enthusiastic, where he immediately welcomes her. Not long after, Father Murphy talks to them about why they are there, with the benefits they will gain in the camp. He instructs them to fill out the papers Mrs. Velda is passing out to them, in which they are to circle their feelings in the past year. During the lunch hour, Chris engages Alice in a conversation. After this, Nina talks to the campers about herself and her family. In the retreat, she realizes God loves her, and she is loved generally. That night, while playing on her contraband cell phone, Alice accidentally discovers that she can pleasure herself using her phone's vibrating feature. However, she stops after looking at the crucifix hanging in her room. On the second day of the retreat, Alice fakes an injury on a hike to get closer to Chris. He then carries her back to the cabin. On getting to the cabin, Alice takes her phone from the locker, but is interrupted by a knock. Nina comes in to check on her. In the process of leaving, Alice's phone vibrates. Nina confiscates Alice's phone and tells her she has no choice but to tell Father Murphy. Soon after, they all gather for a photo shoot, in which a classmate asks Alice what she had for breakfast. He soon makes a joke of her for not having a Wade salad. After the photo shoot, Father Murphy calls Alice to inquire about the phone since she didn't follow their rules. As punishment, Father Murphy assigns Alice to cleaning duties around the retreat house. Once alone, she logs onto an AOL chat room from Father Murphy's office computer to ask what tossing salad means. Before she can find out, the sound of footsteps causes her to shut off the computer and leave hastily. She runs into Nina, who gives her a marshmallow she saved for her after lunch. She also tells her she is not angry with her about the phone issue, so she should keep up the good work since she thinks she is on the right track now. Later in the night, Father Murphy and Ms. Velda read out the letters they received from each parent to them. On the third day of the retreat, in Alice's group, Chris asks the people in his group to share their stories when life has been difficult and overwhelming, when they felt Jesus had been far away. After each person, Alice shares